This guy says, what do you think of HOOW or ones that have good underlinings? Well, I think HOOW is good, but again, if it pays over 14%, it's not sustainable long term. Because the main thing with these, and what I've learned about these, trust me, I got burned by YoMax too, is that when it's a bull run, it's really good. Even if it's flat, it's really good. But what I've learned, the problem with these is that when it's a bear market, it has a very hard time recovering. And even with something like this, it can actually recover, but the problem is that it pays its dividend out of its NAV. So it makes it very hard for the share price to increase over time. So it isn't really so much that it's doing a bad job being an ETF. It's more so the fact that it pays too much and it can't recover. That is the problem. So then you get NAV erosion, and every single time you get like a bear market, it falls, doesn't recover. A bear market, it falls, it doesn't recover, and then you have higher losses long term than what the dividend can give you because it's not sustainable long term, right? So I wouldn't say this is a bad ETF, but what I genuinely believe is that these ETFs are good for bull runs, and this is the reason why. So let's say you're up $500, 30%, etc., right? You're like, oh, I'm up. It's great. Okay, set a stop loss. These aren't things that you keep long term. These are things that you keep and you make a profit on, and you set a stop loss, and then you get kicked out in profit. And if it goes up, you reset your stop loss and you enjoy the dividends until you get kicked out of it. This isn't really something like SPY or something like that. These aren't really made to recover or have long term. These are made if you think there's going to be a bull run and you want to enjoy your dividends, but also take profit too. That's what I learned about these. These aren't really set it and forget it ETFs. These aren't. And then don't get me wrong, I like WPay, but I've sold my WPay. I've sold every ETF except Maggie, if it pays over 14%. The only ones that I have is like QQQI and what's it called? QDAC and T-SPY. I have those. But other than that, I don't really hold any of these ETFs anymore unless it's going to be a crazy bull run. But I've changed my portfolio quite a bit. I don't think they're bad ETFs. I think that if you know how to use them, they're really good, and they're even better than the underlining itself, if depending on if you want income or not. But yeah, it's not a bad ETF, but it's not a set it and forget it. Also, I think Robinhood is pretty good, a pretty good bet on, but Robinhood is very volatile. And yeah, it's not something that I will put a bunch of money in overall, maybe 1% of my portfolio.